Good evening, everyone. It's 6:34 p.m. Wednesday, April 13th, 2022. And I would like to call the virtual meeting of the City of Brisbane Parks and Recreation Commission to order. This meeting is compliant with the Ralph M. Brown Act as amended by California Assembly Bill number 361, effective September 16th, 2021, providing for a public health emergency exception to the standard teleconference rules required by the Brown Act. The purpose of this is to provide a safe environment for the public, staff, and commissioners while allowing for public participation. The public may address the commission using exclusively remote public comment options. The commission may take action on any items listed on the agenda. The Parks and Recreation Commission meeting will be an exclusively virtual meeting. Members of the public may view the meeting by logging into the Zoom webinar at www.brisbanecA.org/parks-rec-webinar. Meeting ID is 920-4174-1911. The passcode is 123456. Or they can either also log on to Comcast channel 27 and the city's YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/Brisbane CA. The agenda materials may be viewed online at www.brisbaneca.org/meeting. To address the commission, members of the public are encouraged to submit written comments before the meeting. So for those members of the public who join the live Zoom webinar may address the commission in the meeting when called upon by the chairperson. Please use a chat box in Zoom to alert staff that you want to address the commission. Members of the public watching the meeting on YouTube or channel 27 may email at jbondoc, BONDOC @brisbaneca.org or text comments to 415-519-9588 prior to the start of the particular agenda item. A call-in number is also available for those watching the meeting on YouTube or channel 27 for oral communications and public hearing items. The phone number for that is 253-215-8782, and the meeting ID for that is 920-4174-1911. Or if you need special assistance to participate in this meeting, please contact the Parks and Recreation Department at 415-508-2140 in advance of the meeting. Notification in advance of the meeting will enable the city to make reasonable arrangements to ensure accessibility to this meeting. So we will go ahead and on our agenda is roll call. So next on that, John, did you want to call roll?
Yeah.
Oh, Joe,
let's
start.
do it. It's okay. I've gotten worse. Chairperson Ocampo.
Present.
Commissioner Comerford.
Present.
Oh, Renee, scared me there for a little bit. Alrighty. Commissioner Davis.
Present. Present.
Commissioner Greenlee.
Present.
Commissioner Kern.
Present.
Commissioner Sewell.
Present.
And Commissioner Sims.
Present.
Lovely.
So the next is the adoption of the agenda. Are there any actions to delete, add, or change? If not,
Natalie, we do have one addition under subcommittee meetings. We can add it just before setting subcommittee meetings, but there was a subcommittee meeting held on Monday with the Festival of Lights subcommittee the joint subcommittee with open space and ecology. So we'll have a report out from that as well.
Got it. The Festival of Light and Festival of Lights and the ecology.
Open space and ecology, yes.
Okay, great. All right. So do we need to still make a motion to those approvals or to those additions, correct?
Yeah, you would motion to adopt the agenda with that amendment.
Okay. So do we have anyone who, a commissioner who would like to make a motion to approve the agenda with those additions?
I
do.
so move. Oh, I'll second then.
Great. Jody, did you want to do a run through of
Roll call.
Yes.
the roll call?
Yes. So I caught Julie seconding it, but who initially moved to approve?
Davis.
Rudy Davis. Okay. Alrighty. So we have a motion to make additions to tonight's agenda. So Chairperson Ocampo,
Aye.
Commissioner Comerford,
Aye.
Commissioner Davis,
Aye.
Commissioner Greenlee,
Aye.
Commissioner Curran,
Aye.
Commissioner Sewell,
Aye.
Commissioner Sims.
Aye.
Motion passes.
So the next item on our agenda are the approval of the minutes from March 15th, 2022. Are there any actions to delete, add, or change? If not, is there a commissioner who would like to make a motion to approve the agenda? Or sorry, the minutes?
I'll motion to approve the minutes.
I second it.
Okay, so that was Julie and Trudy.
Yes.
Okay. So now we have a motion to approve the minutes from our March 16th meeting. Chairperson Ocampo,
Aye.
Commissioner Comerford,
Aye.
Commissioner Davis,
Aye.
Commissioner Greenlee,
Aye.
Commissioner Kern,
Aye.
Commissioner Sewell,
Aye.
Commissioner Sims.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Great. The next item on our agenda are there any citizen communications?
No, not tonight.
The next item is the YAC introductions and presentation. We would like to welcome the Brisbane YAC group. So welcome.
Yeah, so you lucked out tonight. The Youth Advisory Committee is having their meeting, and so we coordinated for them to hop into our meeting so that they can introduce themselves, and they're all gathered there in our conference room at City Hall. So it's a unique opportunity virtually for all of you to get to meet the Youth Advisory Committee. And so I think Sarah's in there somewhere, but I will go ahead and turn it over to them, and they can take it from here.
Hi, so we're going to have each of them introduce themselves with their name, their grade, and their favorite part about Brisbane, and then we'll go over what we did in this past year. So we'll start in this corner over here.
Hi, I'm Isabella. I'm in 7th grade, and my favorite part about Brisbane is the community.
Hi, my name is Avani. I'm in 7th grade, and my favorite part about Brisbane is its uniqueness.
Hi, my name is Sagar Rajan. I'm currently in 10th grade, and my favorite part of Brisbane, along with the community's uniqueness, is how cool the public schools are here and how open they are. So it's a really nice transition to go from the elementary to middle school, and it's really nice growing up with the same kids.
Hi, my name is Andy. I'm in 9th grade, and I also very like the community here. Everyone's great.
My name is Charlotte. I am also in 9th grade, and I guess my favorite part about Brisbane is it's kind of a small town vibe, and also the main part of Brisbane is very pretty. It was really nice to drive to here.
My name is Stasha. I'm in 10th grade and mine's similar to Sagar. I like how going to elementary school and middle school with the same people gives you a pretty unique opportunity to make really strong friendships.
Hello, I'm Sasha. I am in 10th grade, and my favorite part of Brisbane would be all the events.
My name is Sebastian. I'm in 8th grade, and I like the tight knit community that Brisbane has, and how you can walk down the street and you see recognize almost everyone you see.
Yeah, hi, my name is Sarah, and I also love how you could, everybody, and it's really small and unique, like everyone else said.
Go for it, Sagar.
Awesome. So thank you for sitting through that. That's all our introductions. As you can see, we're a pretty young in terms of typical yaks. I mean, they tend to be upperclassmen in high school, but we have a lot of middle schoolers and lowerclassmen. In fact, I don't think we have a single upperclassman on our yak, but that's a good thing. We'll grow together. So this past year, as you know, we were in quarantine. So having events and just really getting involved as a yak has been really tough. But we were able to have some really key events. We had the United Against Hate, the anti-Asian hate rally in March of 2021. It was pretty popular, and I remember it being a big hit. And so our responsibility during the time was we were passing out flyers. We were helping people. We were helping set up signs. We were helping with just anything that needed to be helped with, moving things here and there so they could set up for their speakers and microphones. That was our responsibility. And then we've been volunteering at the concerts in the park. We did that this year in September because, again, the pandemic, it was hard to have concerts in the first place. That's this event of volunteering at concerts in the parks, where it has been a yak tradition for a long time. We've been helping them for many years in the past. And then, of course, we have Brisbane's famous Day in the Park Derby. We were there helping with getting set up, helping set up booths, helping with passing out flyers again, and then just helping with the overall whole thing of helping kids with their derby, taking it off, putting it on. And so that was fun. That was in October. And then in November, we went to a yak social in Cupertino, where we met with other yaks in the Bay Area, and we just talked to them, saw what was going on. We referenced ideas, and we bounced off each other on what we want to go do moving forward with the yak. And so it was a cool way to see what the other cities were doing. And then lastly, in March, so just last month, we had a yak attack. It was kind of a celebration of everything yak's done in the year. You got to chill out a bit and hang out, and it was pretty fun. Those are our 5 big events that we did. Unfortunately, we did have the pandemic, so it was a little restricting. But next year we have a young group, and we look to do a lot more. So thank you.
Do you have any questions for us?
I have a question. My name is. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm sort of new to Brisbane. I've been here only 2 years, so 2.5, and moved in right when the pandemic started. So everything that you guys talked about is the reason why I moved here. But then, like you, during the pandemic, I didn't get to experience much of it. And so I'm just interested to hear what are the things that you're thinking about doing once the pandemic restrictions lift, that I think maybe you've seen done in the past, but then went away during COVID, and now you might have access to again. I'd just like to hear some of those things since I'm new here.
Well, we had a teen center many years ago. It got torn down, and Brisbane's pretty small, and I don't think there's a lot of stuff for teens and younger kids to do, maybe besides the basketball courts in the library. But I think planning sports events, organized basketball tournaments for teens, 3-on-3 tournaments or something, or just activities in the park that teens can join in on, could be quite fun.
Yeah, and I guess on that note, focusing on projects that have a deeper lasting impact in the community as a whole, because during COVID, I feel a lot of things that are easier to organize. I mean, I'm new, so I wasn't really here, but I feel it's definitely easier, and you can only organize events that are one-day things or just singular events. But doing I guess what Sebastian was talking about was implementing programs that have a lasting impact, and that teens, especially because we're all teenagers, can participate in, that will actually have a deep impact on the community beyond just an event.
Yeah, thanks. Good to hear.
That's great. It's nice to have such a large group that is coming forward, and we will definitely keep you in mind for for future events and stuff that we can include you on.
And I just want to say thank you. I love hearing what you like about Brisbane. I'm also fairly new in the last 3 years, and you really hit the nail on the head in terms of what I like about Brisbane, the community, the uniqueness. Please continue to communicate what you think will make our Parks and Recreation Department stronger and what we can do to engage people like you in the community. And just provide fun activities or things that will make an impact for years to come, and keep doing what you're doing. It's really meaningful hearing from you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have also a question. I know you guys mentioned as far as like the activities have been like a day, activity, but as far as like the day, like the daily of like the center of our youth and a gathering place. I know like in the past we've had, I think, Noreen, if you can correct me, there was actually a youth center where basically individuals would be able to gather, kind of like we have a senior center. Is there any resources that you guys find where there can be like some kind of support from a Park and Rec, center, where maybe like homework or to build ideas, groups and activities, a place where you guys can all gather to, bring it all in, as one, or it's basically kind of like the youth zone for Brisbane?
For that, I would say the new library that we have built would be a good place to start with something like that. A little problem with especially the teenagers in Brisbane is unfortunately we don't have a high school here. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of the teens that live in Brisbane and our high schoolers, they attend high schools outside of Brisbane. And so they spend a lot of time in the cities that their high school's in. And so it's a lot harder to get them to interact with Brisbane city events. But I think like the library having some sort of peer tutoring or having something like that where they can really engage with kids in their community would be beneficial. And I know the library has conference rooms and private rooms, so I think we can make use of those facilities.
Good to know.
I just want to say thank you guys, and it was a pleasure to meet you all virtually tonight. You should be very proud of yourselves, and we appreciate you stepping up. It appears there's no shortage of ideas within this group here, so feel free to keep surfacing those, and if you need any help from this commission, let us know. Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Anything else?
Thank you, Sarah, and everyone.
It was great. Great seeing you all. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is old business. So to finalize and adopt needs assessment survey, which is attached, if you scroll all the way down on the PDF.
Yeah, so I will share that on my screen just as a follow-up to our last meeting where the commissioners gave input into formulating the questions. Julie did a lot of the heavy lifting here in putting it all together and kind of consolidating the questions and working on some various iterations back and forth with me. So I just want to thank Julie for her efforts on that. I don't know if you want to walk the rest of the commission kind of through the survey as I share my screen, or if you'd like for me to do that. I don't want to put you on the spot. So
no worries at all. I think that the main thing that we were looking for with this and is just to get directionally and just easy to understand direction from the community on what we want to prioritize. So that was the main thing we were looking for. And as Noreen and I were working, and Noreen, you put a lot into this too, we were looking at two areas, which was like the programs as well as the facilities. So we kind of divvied those up and really just looking for us as a group, where does the community want us to invest our time and resource? So that was the main goal. But I will just say, like, really open to feedback at this point. Just would love to hear what people think, but hoping that from this we could gather, okay, here are the two areas when it comes to programs that we want this group to focus on. Here are the two areas with regard to facilities. And it doesn't have to be two. I think with the demographic questions at the end, then we can slice and dice and look at various groups and kind of what they're most interested in. So hopefully we can serve everybody. So I will just say that, and Noreen, feel free to add whatever we need to add there.
Yeah, thank you so much, Julie. I think we really tried to structure this in a way where it aligned with the commission's work plan in regards to facilities and programs, and tried as best as we could to group the questions in that way as well, so that it makes sense as people are traversing through it. So we can kind of scroll through, or if the commission has specific input that what they want to provide, we can just kind of go in a popcorn format. But I think the goal tonight would be to finalize and adopt this survey so that we can begin pushing it out to our community and our residents. The intent is to have it available in an online format, as well as in hard copy at various cities facilities where we have programs happening. I know our senior contingent likes to fill it out on paper, so we will make sure that we create the opportunity for them to do so, and then we can input their responses into the online platform so that all of them are collectively viewed when we analyze the results after the closure of the survey. So I will just kind of go ahead and open it up, and then if anyone wants to provide input or feedback, we're all ears.
Well, I'd like to start by saying thank you, Noreen. Thank you, Julie. You guys did a bang up job on this. You got this down to 18 questions and you hit on everything. So I think it's really impressive.
Thank you.
I do have some feedback on question 12 though.
Yeah,
let's go there.
So back in the day when we were talking about providing equipment out to the community, we were talking about providing sort of different things. And I'm just wondering if we can add some responses here to show that we're trying to get extra creative. I mentioned when I was in Chicago, we would check things out at the library, and we had things like bocce balls, cornhole, GoPro cameras. We had a bubble machine, selfie sticks, a telescope, fishing poles, that kind of stuff. So just like expanded out the responses, maybe more than just the sporting equipment.
Okay.
I love that. Frank, maybe if you can provide a list of things, I think that's really great. I mean, there could also be, when we think about it, art equipment or different things.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I can definitely do that. And that's all the feedback that I have. It looks great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Frank.
I think the only thing I would maybe suggest in the top paragraph when you're just framing up the whole questionnaire. So, just to back up, I'll echo what Frank said. This is very well done. So thank you I know this is hard work. This is hard work. So thanks for doing this. I guess I wonder if we need to consider how far in the future they might be thinking. So, are we thinking about like the next 3 years or the next 10 years? I think that just might help narrow people's thinking down. That's just for your consideration.
It's a good point, Renee. I would say maybe, Noreen, like I'm thinking this is the next three years, really.
Yeah, I would agree, like 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay. We can definitely specify that in that introductory paragraph.
Great. And then the other things I have, I guess that they're just editorial things. And so I'll just maybe just send it to you by attachment, because they're not important.
They are important, and
yeah,
that absolutely works. I appreciate them.
Sure. Good.
Thanks, Renee.
Any other feedback?
Can I ask, Noreen, I wonder if we want to, and tell me if this would work or not. Like, one of the things I want to make sure is that we have good samples from segments of the population where we can. And I know, we want to definitely take it to the senior center. Should we divvy up like different segments of the population that we particularly want to reach out to? I don't know what opportunities we might have, but I'd definitely be willing to attend events or go to gatherings and try to get feedback.
Yeah, I appreciate that. When we did this in the past, the channels where we distributed it were within our senior programs, within all of our childcare programs to parents and guardians, at our facilities, including the pool and Mission Blue Center. We have had tables at special events. We only have a couple of events coming up. I don't know how long we want to leave the survey out for input based on when we release it, but there might be opportunities at upcoming events like our habitat restoration, or I'm trying to think of what else is coming up. But we can come up with we have fire hydrant restoration coming up. There's always the Thursday farmers market if commissioners wanted to be present and have a table and distribute and help kind of create awareness around it. So I'm open to all ideas. I think the more that we can get it out there so that we can ensure a significant sample, the better.
Yeah.
Noreen, I volunteer to man a table at the
Awesome.
Yeah, I would too. I'd love that. I have no problem to do that.
Okay.
Yay.
Hello. Am I coming up?
Yes.
Oh, good. I can't see myself. I volunteer to really push it out on social media. I think that that's not just from the city, because kind of the city social media is kind of less personal than me coming forward and saying, hey, the survey's out there. I really want you to do it. And maybe get a couple of other people to echo that. And I think that on Facebook and other places, we could push that, and I could get a dialogue going on how it's going.
I love that, Lisa. I wonder if could we incentivize people to provide feedback, like you'll be entered in a drawing for a Brisbane hat or some goodies. Everyone who
could
fills it out.
In the past, we did this anonymously so that people feel comfortable providing input.
Yeah.
So that kind of takes away from that, but we could make it optional. If people want to provide an email address, they could be entered into a raffle or a drawing for something of.
We could get them a front row lawn chair at the concerts in the park.
That's right.
I think everybody who wants that can have that.
Yeah, that's good. Sorry.
The hats, though, anywhere I wear that hat, I get a compliment on it.
Right.
That's so good. Can you remind me it says somewhere in the minutes, but I've now promptly forgotten, how soon do we want to have this closed out? Do we want it done by the end of April?
We didn't specify.
Okay, for some reason, maybe it's that you're going to finalize this document by a certain time.
Yeah, I think we put a placeholder on the commission calendar to review the results and kind of sift through them and determine direction, but that is a living document. So
okay, all right.
It will adjust with ours.
The reason why I ask, every month or at least once a month, I have a meeting with the Lions Club, and that's kind of a sample of people that I'm sure we'd want to target, and they're probably not super media savvy, but I could bring it to a meeting and hand it out. I think it'd be well received there. Our next meeting is the first week of May.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, and I mean, if it's I think it's like the first Tuesday of, maybe it's the second Tuesday of every month. So if we don't have this ready by May, but we do have it by June, then I have that access, and it's a decent sized group of people.
That's great. What about youth? What about the Youth Action Committee? I don't know whether this is they're done with it, but could we give them some and see if we could get feedback from?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the library was the other place I was thinking to have them.
Great.
And then Noreen and Julie, so will this also be translated into other languages as well, not just in English?
I can talk to Caroline, our communications person from the city, and see if that's something that we can make available to people. Definitely.
Great. And then as far as like, I know like this is all great. It breaks down by the facilities and then it breaks it down by the programs. Should we add a question or a survey around, I know like summer program registration came out. Should we have like a registration survey on how that was easy, user friendly, and was that things like that? Because I know there's like a wait list, and then the programs fill up super fast. The swimming, I couldn't even this summer. For me, I couldn't. So do we need a survey to get an idea on, like if residents, I know there's a residential date and then it's non-residents, if that's enough time to open it up?
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of feedback from parents on that too. I've been getting an earful.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Julie and I can finesse that a little bit and incorporate a question around registration.
Yeah.
I know, like I mentioned, Noreen, it's just like hot concert tickets, it's you have to like log in at 9 a.m. to register quickly.
It's been that way for years.
Right. Especially for
I also think that that's a larger question for our facilities. Sometimes people in Brisbane feel like people from out of town use our facilities, our pools, our parks more than they do. And, like when it's a nice sunny day, the pool fills up and there's no room for residents.
Absolutely.
So I'm wondering if you should ask the question about residents. How do they feel about access to the facilities? I've always felt like, at least with the pool and maybe with the park, no, maybe not the park. I mean, the park is hard to but like on the pool, like you have a little extra time in the beginning of the day for residents only before you let people in from who are not residents. I don't know if you can do that, but it just seems like that would be a popular thing.
I think that's a great question area. Like, how do they feel about the balance of residents versus non-residents? I think, Noreen, we should add that question. Regarding the registration, I wonder if we put this, I mean, it seems like we know on some level that people are not happy with the registration process. If they're talking to us about it, should we just act on that or put that as a future item for us to consider?
Yeah, it could definitely be added for a future agenda. I mean, we could put that on for our May agenda.
Yeah.
I would like to look at it.
Okay.
Do we know?
Also, we want to make sure we want to be inclusive, not just to Brisbane community, but also to non-residents. So we need to make sure we're mindful of that. So.
Well, definitely. I don't want to exclude anybody at all. Right. But I think that even in registration, I think we've given people, who are residents a little head start. And if they don't take advantage of that, then it's not for them to complain. I just, I mean, I just think it doesn't have to be a big head start. It doesn't have to be a big window of time. It's just a little bit of a one so that people can say, well, you had your chance.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if there could be like a reminder or
I know. That's tough.
Or on our signboard, though. But
yeah, get ready for this,
Yeah, I think it would be a great topic of discussion that we can add to our May meeting agenda.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then we were just talking briefly about having the YAC fill this out as well. And I'm looking at question 18, and I'm thinking that when we get all this data back, we're not going to know whether or not one of the, if the person completing the survey was under the age of 18.
It's a good call out, Frank. I think maybe we should ask another question. Are you, which of these categories do you fit into?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Could we also add which is the most, I guess, most utilized program, or would that be helpful, Julie? Also, like, which is the most utilized activity that your family or household uses the most, or facility?
Yeah, I think we were trying to get that with the priority, like which, if we go up, Noreen, with which programs, but I wonder if we want to, if you like to see. So here, those are the facilities. What about the programs? Then we move into programs. Which would you prioritize for improvement? Yeah, that's a different question. The prioritize for improvement versus what you're using. So maybe, Noreen, let's take that as a note too.
Okay.
Like what they feel are the most important programs, or what is the program they use the most, or the programming they consider that they use. We'll figure it out, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea to also, I think you could kind of like read into the survey where it's like, oh, they're always picking on the programs for children, and you can see they utilize the children programs the most. So kind of like a good intel. Or
right, because they might pick one for improvement just because they think it's not good, but then their favorite one could be, you know, a different one that they utilize the most, but it's good, so they're not picking it for improvement. So I think that's a good call out.
Julie, could you help at least me, maybe others too, understand how you'll use the data from questions 17 and 18, in particular 18? I'm just curious, like the information you want is coming from question 16 and earlier. What are you doing with 17 and 18? Like, how will that help you understand the answer?
Yeah, and so this is one, Noreen, where I wanted to kind of get your feedback on it too. I think it's interesting to know the priorities by kind of age groups, right? Like for me, it's like the seniors consider this a big priority, but you know, so we want to really support seniors in this community, or you know, understanding where they're coming from. And I guess for me, the other thing is we noticed with the last survey, we had a low number of men filling out the survey. I think Frank pointed that out. It was like 2 or 3, not very many. So just making sure we have a good sample all the way around of people from different segments of the population.
Yeah, I think that's a thank you for helping me understand. I think the reason why I was asking, especially about question 18, and that kind of gets to a bit earlier in the conversation, is I think the assumption with 18 is that when the person is filling out the form, they have in mind their whole household rather than themselves. But they may not. Like they may just be answering for themselves. So yeah, I think that was where I was getting a little bit.
What do you think, Noreen? Because we could go either way on that. Like we could just make it, you know, what's your age range, you know, and put a range in so we could know where the person's coming from. It wouldn't tell us like whether they have a child in their household or, you know, youth, but we could either add a question so we can cross-reference or just replace the question. And I'd be open to either, depending on just what we want to know.
Yeah, I mean, I think in that first paragraph, again, with question 18, if you're wanting them to reflect their whole household's feelings, then that should be instructed to them in that first paragraph. Because otherwise, I think most people are going to default to what they care about. And so I think it just needs to be maybe some clarification in the instruction there of what you're trying to get them to respond to. Like what perspective are they coming in with?
Yeah. I would like for them to reflect their whole household if they can, just because I think especially with the young people. So maybe we just put that as instructive. Please answer if you're answering, please consider your entire household in your responses.
Yeah, and then that will fix question 18.
Yeah.
Then that solves the problem. So great, thank you.
Yeah, that's good.
That's great feedback. This is great, Julie and Maureen.
It's a group effort.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
these are extremely hard to do. You guys done a great job.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How are you going to distribute this? I'm kind of confused as to how this will be distributed.
So we'll have it available as an online survey. So we can distribute the link anywhere using online platforms, social media. It can be posted to the community signboards with a short abbreviated link through emails and the Star, the City Blast. And then, as I mentioned, we'll have hard copies available in facilities for specific programs as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Trudy, we're talking about getting to segments who may not get it through the normal channels. So if you can think of any, I think Frank and Lisa, we have a couple who are going to be at the farmers market. I think that's great. Like any other places where we might be able to catch people and who might not.
Easter egg hunt coming up.
That's
I don't think we'll have it ready by Sunday, but thank you.
Oh, that's true. Good point. That is a little bit is right around the corner. Good point. But Memorial Day, maybe there'll be some.
The other thing I thought of, and this might be weird, but like some of the businesses, like if you live in this town, you go to the Midtown Market, right? On occasion, like that might be an area where we might just ask them if they wouldn't mind just having it out for people.
Yeah, and there are a handful of businesses on visitation that are happy and willing to help us promote whatever the city has going on. So maybe it's that we create like a flyer with a graphic and either a short link or even a QR code that people can scan on their phones where the survey pops up directly. We can certainly do that.
QR code is a great idea.
And use the library. The library is a good idea. Maybe some of definitely the schools. The schools will have them. Just get it out there.
And then Maureen and Julie, so the next steps, you'll incorporate this, and then will we bring this back to our next meeting, or will you just circulate for approval?
I think if the commission's comfortable with it, Julie and I can massage based on the feedback we've received tonight, and then we can send it out to everybody, the finalized copy, just for one last glance over. I don't think we need to hold off and wait until our next meeting. We're losing some time by doing that. It would be more expeditious to kind of distribute the final version via email, and then if there's any other minor tweaks that need to be incorporated, we can do that before getting it out. I think if anybody has any strong feelings about the timeline, I'm just kind of imagining maybe releasing it around May 1st, keeping it open for several weeks in the month of May, so that people have ample opportunity to respond. But of course, that's flexible if anybody has any strong sentiments one way or another.
I like that, because what we could do is put it in the Star that it's coming.
Yes.
There's a survey coming, and get ready for it, look for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I like that.
Hey, Noreen, maybe I missed it. Are you planning on using our fabulous electronic signboards to promote this?
Of course. I wouldn't miss the opportunity.
That'll get the men's vote out. Right?
There you go.
That's my job. My job is to get these men out to fill these surveys.
Oh
man, so disappointing.
I'll just add, I think when we did this in the past, also we included an insert in the Star where we did like a pair out page, because that gets delivered to every home in Brisbane. So if we can put it in people's mailboxes without doing a separate publication with additional postage, all the better. So I'll also, when I talk to Caroline about translation of the survey, I'll also inquire about whether or not that could be feasible for one of the upcoming Star publications, fully recognizing that her timeline is usually middle of the month deadline for the next month's publication. So we might be outside of that window, but we'll see if we can make it work.
And I'll also include the QR code on the publication. Right? Is that what
Yes.
you guys mentioned? Okay, great.
Yeah.
And Noreen, one other thought is the new DEI committee. I do wonder if we should share with them and get any thoughts they have on places that we may not be thinking of or languages we may not be thinking of that they are thinking of.
Okay. Let me touch base with the staff liaison to see if they can kind of weigh in on that. That's a great idea.
Smart.
For these hard copies that are going to be floating around, we really need to have a very specific place where they get dropped off. And if they're in the Star, they really need to, I don't know if they have paid postage or something, they can drop them in a mailbox, or if they have to go to City Hall, or if maybe we have a box in the senior center that's available. Just make sure that those inserts have a place to land.
Good point.
Okay. Anything else from our commissioners? Noreen, Julie, do you have everything that you have? Great.
Hey, Noreen, are we able to use that water bill payment mailbox thing at Midtown Market? Can they drop them in there, maybe?
Yeah, I was going to mention that. We've done that in the past. There's one.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
There's one at Midtown and one outside of City Hall. So it's available all hours. City Hall doesn't have to be open for somebody to drop it off.
We could even put a flyer on those boxes saying drop your surveys here,
Yeah.
So it's still obvious.
Yeah. And if the tear out page in the Star is not an option, we can also explore an insert in the water bills, because we've done that before for special events. So
that's a great one.
Wow.
I can ask about the timeline for that. Usually they only include one additional piece with the bill. So they might already have something going into the next one, but I can definitely inquire.
If you fill out the survey, can you get your water bill paid for that one lucky winner?
Whoa, that's huge.
Used to not be, but it's a lot of money now.
Are we allowed to have a raffle, Noreen? Or
We
the
can't-
Frank's famous Brisbane hat?
Only if Frank will model it.
The first 5 or 10.
I thought you were gonna say only if Frank donates his, and I was gonna say that's a no-go.
No, but you obviously have an effect on the whole, image of that hat that I don't have.
Oh,
Are you wearing it though, Lisa?
I'm not.
it's a great hat. Yeah.
That's a great hat.
Yep. Okay. All right, we can move on to the next item on our agenda, new business. So I guess this is like the bulk of our meeting, right? Noreen, the commission reorganization.
Yes, it is. So I will just go ahead and read this off. It is customary for the Parks and Recreation Commission to designate a new chair, vice chair, and secretary on an annual basis. This is done so that chairperson responsibilities are rotated amongst commissioners throughout their terms. The commission will need to facilitate a discussion around nominations and vote in a chair, vice chair, and secretary, which would be in effect for the commission's next regular meeting.
Got it. And then as far as like the roles, the current roles right now, can you remind us who the secretary and the vice chair is?
Lisa is the vice chair, and I believe Frank is the secretary currently. We had some transitions over the last year, so it's nice to have a full roster.
Yes.
Right. And then Noreen, as far as like voting, do we just basically say a name or?
Yes. So, I mean, it's kind of more of an organic discussion amongst the commission. Sometimes commissioners nominate themselves for a seat. Sometimes commissioners nominate one of their colleagues for a position, and then other people jump on that bandwagon. So whatever feels comfortable to the group.
And it's regardless of like term, right? Term year, it doesn't.
Nope, no effect.
Okay, got it.
What do they do?
So yeah, if it's helpful, I can just kind of quickly go over the roles and responsibilities, just at a high level. So Natalie is our current chair, and so her primary responsibility is really meeting facilitation at the regular monthly meetings, and she works directly with the Park and Rec department staff to develop the agenda. Those are kind of the core responsibilities of the chair, and to keep the meetings running smoothly. If there's any type of issue or conflict that were to arise, that individual would help kind of mediate that. And then the vice chair is the next in charge. If the chair is unavailable to facilitate a meeting, then the vice chair would do so. And same with the secretary. If the chair and vice chair were not available, then the secretary would step in and help to facilitate the meeting. Typically, because we have a 7-person commission, since I've been with the city, we really haven't run into an issue where we haven't had a quorum where the chair and the vice chair were not present that required the secretary to facilitate. So it's unusual that person has to step in for that responsibility. But in the event it were to occur, we do have to be prepared for that. So,
okay. Thank you.
I think Lisa should be our chair. I'm just.
I'll second that.
I think it.
Yeah, you know, I'm comfortable with that just because I've got the probably more seniority. I'm just not that organized, you guys. I mean, I don't know.
You're organized to be a president. Look at our presidents. They're not that organized. They have a staff that organizes them. They just show up.
Okay, it just seems like there's a little layer of like preparation that goes on with this role. Is there, Natalie? What do you say? I don't know. What do I have to do?
I think that as far as like time and commitment, it's basically one, being present at the meetings, two, reviewing the agenda, like the draft of the agenda and the meeting minute. And if there's any like update, there's like very, very few, updates before the meeting prior. So basically with you showing up to these meetings, it's probably 5-10 minutes of your time outside of the meeting. So
okay. I take notes. I can do that.
No, yeah. So as far as notes, Noreen, our Park and Rec staff has done an amazing job on, with all the notes. And I mean, the meeting minutes, you'll see it all there. So.
Okay, if I could just ask for help from staff, like a little bit before the meetings happen, to just get in touch with me so that we can just kind of go over the agenda. That would be helpful for me because sometimes I'm just not prepared. I got a lot going on. I'm on so much with this and with my church and with, just it's crazy. But I'm totally willing to do it because I realize I've been on this and other committees a lot. I've lived here for 30 years. I kind of know the drill. I just don't want to fall short on being prepared. That's my only concern. Yeah.
And also, like, I've always punted during these meetings. I always punted to Noreen. Like Noreen.
I like that. Good advice. Noreen.
I don't want to do that.
Like, help me.
We're always here to support.
Right.
You guys are great. Okay, so if I can just I'm happy to do it. Just give me a heads up like the week before or something and say, here's the agenda. Call me if you haven't heard on my email and say what, here, I need to hear from you. Just
I'll
make
track
sure
you down.
Yeah, track me down. You're good at that. Okay.
And Noreen, so that's basically how we vote for the new chair. Julie brings the name up, and then do we have to go around and?
Yeah. So if there's any other nominations or any interest in the chair seat aside from Lisa, then commissioners should express that now. Typically, if there is consensus from the commission on all 3 positions, then we can make we can do one motion for all 3. If there's some disagreement regarding a specific seat, then we will vote people in individually to each position.
Got it. Yeah, I also wanted to nominate Julie and Frank as well for the chair. So that's kind of like hard to like, they've all been fabulous with. I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah.
What about if we have Frank? I was thinking of nominating Frank as the vice chair. It's kind of like a succession because he's been the secretary. And
Julie
then
is in her sales role now.
No, this
Julie
is really
is our-
good. This is really good. I like this.
Yeah, no, I would be happy to be vice chair.
And also, like, I guess we want to include Renee, Trudy, and Tom. I guess also secretary as well, you know, if and Julie, if anybody's interested in that. Yeah.
I'm happy to be secretary, but I also don't have to be secretary if someone wants to be secretary. I feel like it's a very low stress role because
It is.
Because somebody else is taking your notes.
Yeah,
That is the hard part of the secretary job. No.
I don't know. These are great. Everyone, I think, on our commission team has been great. So hard choices are great choices.
Well, should we ask this? Does anybody really want to a role and to speak up? Because I do want to make sure anyone has that opportunity.
Right.
I like to settle in for a while and get used to it. I'm comfortable like hanging out.
Yeah, I am too.
I am too.
Just trying to figure out. I'm still trying to figure out how to find the Zoom meeting.
I have felt like that for a long time. I totally relate to that.
Okay. So it looks like we've established our new individuals, our new roles.
Okay, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but we have a nomination for Lisa as chairperson, nomination for Frank as vice chair, and nomination for Julie as secretary. Okay, so we'll do our roll call, starting with, well, chairperson for the last time, Ocampo.
Aye.
Commissioner Comerford.
Aye.
Commissioner Davis.
Aye.
Commissioner Greenlee.
Aye.
Commissioner Kern.
Aye.
Commissioner Sewell.
Aye.
Commissioner Sims.
Aye.
All right. All of those motions passed. Congratulations, everyone.
Yeah.
Democracy at its finest.
And Noreen, I guess through the chair, Lisa.
Yes.
Can you remind us about the terms for the chair and vice chair and secretary? Is that a year or 2 years?
Yeah, typically it's a 1 year assignment. Sometimes circumstances require us to extend the term. For example, this time with Natalie, we extended because of the new commissioners coming on board and wanting to give them the opportunity to get a meeting under their belt before we did this reorg. So, and sometimes it's dependent upon the city council's timeline for seating new commissioners. So there is some fluctuation. It's not necessarily strictly always 12 months, but we tried to keep to that to make sure that we're creating opportunities for that rotation amongst the full commission. So this next term, in theory, should be May through May of 2023.
Great. Congratulations, everyone. And then does this basically I hand over the baton and then Lisa continues on with the agenda? Is that what it is?
No, it would be in effect for our next meeting.
Oh, May.
Thanks is like, no.
I don't know how to do this yet. That whole through the chair thing. How does that work? I have to get trained.
Okay.
The apprehension on your face, Lisa, was classic. You'll be fine.
Yeah. The next item on our agenda is so that part of the new business is subcommittee reassignment. So this is the fun one as well.
Yeah. So I'll share my screen with the existing current subcommittee roster, but essentially this is an opportunity for more longstanding commissioners to shuffle or swap out of the commissions that they've sat on in the past and opt into new ones, and then for the newer commissioners to express their interest in sitting on various subcommittees. So under the commissioners column, you can see there's a number in parentheses of seats, potential seats for each subcommittee. For those that there are 3, there doesn't have to be 3, there just has to be at least 2. So hopefully that's helpful. And like I said, this can be just kind of a full-on shuffle of the deck. And the subcommittees that have the number 1 is strictly just 1 representative.
Okay.
Should we start with the first one? So we have an opening. Myself and Frank are on that subcommittee. Frank, I don't know if you want to switch or keep on that committee, or if anyone else wants to jump in on that. So Brisbane Derby Day in the Park is usually held in
October.
This week in October. And it's basically like the full day planning of activities for that.
That's kind of a big deal, and I kind of want to jump in on that one. Like, I would like to jump in on that one if I could jump off of another one. So,
Lisa, if I took your beautification ad hoc, would that help you?
yes, although that's done nothing. That literally has.
That doesn't really help you.
Well, but definitely throw your hat in there. I mean, maybe something will take off, you know?
Yeah, I'm happy to take that for you, but then I feel like I should take another one at first too.
No, I'm thinking of jumping off Festival of Lights.
Okay.
Because I want to jump on that one.
Ooh, yay.
Okay,
Here we go.
There you go.
Okay, and Natalie, although I loved working with you on the Derby and Day in the Park, I feel like somebody who's got kids or a family can lend a better perspective on that one. So I'm going to hop off that one.
Okay. Anybody else wanna? I have myself, Lisa, one more. And as far as like the staff, Ardo and Jeff have done a really good job on like logistics. So it's been like, a month meeting or 2 to 3 meetings prior to that. So
can you remind me? So I would be happy to do it, but I'm often gone for a good portion of October. It's the first weekend in October. Is that right?
The first Saturday, yes.
Okay. I mean, you can add me to that, and then I'll just do my vacation.
Yay. Okay, so Derby Day in the Park, we have Natalie, Lisa, and Renee. Okay. And beautification, we have Renee.
Right.
Okay. And then concerts in the park is the one.
So with that one entails with concerts in the park, they're about 4 to 5. The planning has started with that as far as like booking the band. It's just basically, I believe the dates are being set or are set. So that's where we're at right now with that. So those are coming up like in
July,
first week of July. So. And it's fun. It's, you get to hear like different bands, like, different genre as far as like the planning part of it. Anyone interested or?
I am.
Trudy?
Concerts in the park, yes.
Okay.
And then events. Remind me what that one is again.
Right now we're working on LunaFest.
Yeah, LunaFest. And then in the past, it was additional pop-up events throughout the year. That would also be like the garden show or Park and Rec Month events.
Yep, the garden show. And any other events anyone wants to throw out there.
Yep.
Is there a committee just for LunaFest?
It's the existing events committee.
I would love to be a part of that.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Festival of Light. We have Julie and Lisa.
I'm getting off of that one.
And Trudy wanted onto that one, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And Noreen, I have a suggestion for that one. I wonder if we want to include someone from the DEI committee on that one. Like have a cross committee, cross.
Yeah, like we do with
committee,
OSEC
subcommittee.
on
Yeah.
habitat restoration. I love that idea. Let me see if I can sell it to them.
Great.
What's the DEI committee?
Yeah, I know. I was going to have the same thing.
Diversity and inclusion.
Oh, thank you.
You know, that's like actually, Julie, that's a good point. Noreen, how can we utilize like other committees, like, you know, across, like with Day in the Park, with Yak, has that, you know, like utilizing the youth program for that?
Yeah, I mean, we could just coordinate with them depending on the event or the program. You know, we do that with open space and ecology when it comes to habitat restoration events. So I think it just depends on the topic.
I think they should be involved in almost all these subcommittees.
Yeah. Yeah, the other one where I could see especially is events, because I do wonder if we want to, you know, do we want to their perspective with what events we're even marking?
Yes, I agree. I want Yak on that.
Yeah, almost all of them. Yeah.
I think also with the seniors as well, like to make sure that, you know, they're also included with all of our event, you know.
I've already been given the heads up from our city manager that we're going to have more events coming online with the DEI committee. So be prepared.
Great.
So I think there will definitely be opportunities in the future for some coordination between the groups.
Great.
Bring it on.
So did we have a third for, oh wait, no, that was Tom. Habitat restoration.
What is that one?
I'm sorry, for Festival of Lights, I have Julie and Trudy. Is that correct?
And Tom? What did Tom, did you?
No.
Oh, no, never mind. That was event.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Habitat restoration. Someone asked what they do. There's a joint subcommittee with open space and ecology to coordinate annual habitat restoration events. Usually it's in conjunction with San Bruno Mountain Watch. Usually we try to include a planting event in addition to habitat restoration. And in September, we do lagoon cleanup. They try to organize some efforts around Earth Day and like the recycled art contest. So
I would like to be on that.
Renee, okay.
And it looks like you need 3, so it's I'm not.
Noreen, does that include like the gutter cleaning? I know like there was like a ad or something for cleaning gutters or something like that. Is that included with that? I don't know.
No, I think that's public work.
That's what, okay.
Yeah.
I can do it if we need another person.
Julie, okay. Yeah, and like I said, it's okay to have 2. Doesn't have to be 3.
And then public art advisory.
I'm good with staying on that.
I was told that I would be good on that. I don't know if I will be or not, but I'm pretty creative.
You were voluntold.
I would love to do it. I find that my kids love it too.
It's a fascinating committee. It's very involved, but it's a good committee.
I'm in.
All right.
Great. The recreation programs. Yeah, Frank and Julie.
Yeah, I'm going to rotate off this one as well. No offense, Julie.
No, it's totally fine. I want to stay on. I don't feel like I've done enough here.
I can hop on this one. Can you remind me the description on this? Is this like looking at the activities and the programs and seeing how they run, or?
Yeah, it's kind of taking a deep dive specifically into programs. In the past, we were experiencing some challenges with our after-school program, so we did like a 4-part parent engagement process, and that subcommittee was heavily involved in that. But it could be really any of our programs and looking at them more in depth.
I can be added to that.
And there may be content that comes out of the needs assessment survey that subcommittee would be working on. So Natalie, you wanted to hop onto that one?
Sure. Anyone else give an opening for that?
I would like to, but I have another one I want to do too. But and that's already now that would be too many for me. So
I don't know. I was on so many, and it really wasn't a big deal.
No,
I think I'd really like to be on that one.
On programs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then maybe I'll come up. I won't take my 4th or my other one. I know that the beautification ad hoc probably won't be too much.
No.
Okay, so rec programs is Julie, Natalie, and Renee. Great.
And then recreational facilities.
What is that about?
That's looking at all of our facilities, their buildings, our fields, and prioritizing what needs to be done to make sure that they're in good condition. It's kind of like, being a homeowner, only with everything the city owns. I'd actually like to get off that committee because I've been on it for a while. I like it, but I think I could be better on something else. I'm going to rotate off that one.
I'll take your place, Lisa.
Oh, great.
And then we have another opening for that, the facilities. Anyone?
How many can you take?
3.
3 or 4, depending.
You have 2 right
commissioners.
Oh, 3 for that. Yes.
As far as like being on subcommittees, it's more that there's no limit, right, Noreen?
Yeah, typically commissioners sit on anywhere from 3 to 5, just depending on the number of commissioners present. And
seniors, I can actually hop off that one.
That's good because I want to hop on that one.
Okay.
I do too.
And I would like to hop off of that one.
okay, so what I heard was Julie and Natalie are off, Frank and Trudy are on.
Yep.
Okay.
And then teen services, I could stay on that.
Same. I do feel like that's one that probably should meet soon. I just don't know that we've done a lot there lately.
If there's no one else, I would join you guys on that.
Great.
Trails development. So yeah, Frank on that.
I want to jump on that one.
That's
What
the
is
other
it?
one. Yeah. I'll jump on it if no one else will, but I do not need to be on that. However, I do want us to add equipment along proper trail.
Ooh, I like that.
Well, good, because I haven't done a single thing on this one. So
Yeah, we can get it going.
Great.
But I don't have to, the other people could be on that. I have managed to volunteer more than probably I had intended to. So if somebody else wants to, I don't.
you know what they say, Renee, when you want to get something done, ask the busiest person you know.
That's right.
Okay. And then Sierra Point Park ad hoc.
This was Renee before, right?
It was Renee, not Renee Comerford.
It's like different Renee. Okay, good.
Renee Marmion. Yeah.
What is
What
this
is
one
this?
again, Noreen?
So this is something in process. So we are in the we're in the process of hiring a consultant to conduct a master plan for open space and parks out at Sierra Point. And this will be a joint subcommittee comprised of various representatives from different advisory bodies, open space and ecology, complete streets, and then key stakeholders for the project. And they will be involved in meetings with the consultant. They will assist with community engagement and outreach as far as the visioning for the master plan. So we anticipate this project really picking up and kind of taking off in the later half of this year into next year.
And what is Sierra Point Park?
Well, Sierra Point is out where the marina is.
Okay.
It's where all the kind of corporate office buildings are. We have the marina. There's a Sierra Point Yacht Club. The city owns a parcel out there that's about 3.5 acres. It's undeveloped. And so we're looking to develop that into a park, but also unifying that along the shore, the eastern shoreline of Sierra Point, aligning it so that it's kind of a uniform feel and very welcoming and inviting to encourage people to utilize the space out there.
Oh, okay.
With all that, I mean, you mentioned with like the amount of land, how much of an impact could like a commissioner have, you know, like with the time?
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
And so this representative will be really kind of involved in the ongoing master planning process, similar to what we did with the Crocker Trail master plan. But the whole Park and Rec Commission will have an opportunity to be involved in the process. This will just be the primary representative from our advisory body.
Okay.
Where is the property that we're talking about, Noreen?
Are you familiar with Sierra Point?
Yeah, I go there a lot with my dogs.
I'm trying to figure out where it's at too.
So when you drive on Sierra Point Parkway towards the marina, there's like a fork in the road that forces you to either go to the parking lot off to the right towards the yacht club or towards the left. And there's a big mound of dirt right in front of you at the fork of the road.
Yeah.
That is the parcel. It's a triangular shaped piece of land. It's about 3.5 acres. And it adjoins to some additional city-owned property towards the north, towards San Francisco, where the Fisherman's Pier is.
Oh, yeah.
All of that is city-owned property that we're looking to really develop over the next several years.
That sounds like an exciting project. I jump on that, except that I'm already on the public art advisory, and that's we're kind of in on that too.
Yeah.
But we've been talking about that space, and I think whoever really wants to get in on some fun development stuff, that would be a good one. I'm just selling it.
You're doing a great job too. I'm actually on Google Maps. I can't envision where this is actually at. I'm gonna have to ride my bike over there and take a look.
I know where it is. I'd be happy to do that. I'm very fond of that area. I had no idea that the city owned that land.
Yeah.
Right.
I think in our swearing in, was that the part that was discussed at that meeting? Does anyone remember? I feel like
I don't remember.
Because I remember seeing like these cool plans for that area, and there was one woman that was on the call that was very unhappy about all the plans because it was going to disrupt things. But anyway, the plans I saw, I was like, man, this looks like it would be a really cool buildup.
Let me try. I'm just trying to pull up a map real quick.
Can I share my screen?
Sweetie.
Oh, you've got one. Okay.
I beat you to it.
Oh, there you go. Okay. You did.
Okay. So can you see my screen?
Yep.
So this is that parcel that I'm talking about that the city owns that's being developed. So and then the city also owns this property and this parking lot all the way up here to the northern edge, and the Fisherman's Pier. So we're really looking to develop that into more user-friendly space to encourage people to be out at Sierra Point and use the marina. There are some, what you might be referring to, Renee, from that meeting is there might have been a developer presentation for
it was that area.
He owns this land here and they're looking to develop some biotech buildings in addition to hotel space. So we're looking to try and tie in whatever open space and parks development we make here with the impending development we we expect from the private developers.
And what about the trails along there? Are those part of the trail planning or are those part of the park?
Well, so that's the Bay Trail,
Right.
which falls under the jurisdiction of the BCDC. So
Okay.
they technically own, I think it's 100-foot band of shoreline there, which incorporates that Bay Trail. So whichever consultant the city hires will work directly with BCDC as far as the trail is concerned. But we don't, as part of this project, we're not planning an overhaul of the Bay Trail.
Okay, got it.
That was an in-depth explanation of that subcommittee. Sorry.
No, that's good that people know what they're going to do.
So Noreen, you have everybody signed up for all the subcommittees?
I think we just need somebody for Sierra Point.
Sierra Point, okay.
I think, well, Julie said she was interested, so.
Unless someone feels really passionate and wants to be on that, that's totally fine too.
I'd like to.
Yeah, and everyone will have an opportunity to weigh in throughout the process. So.
Julie will just report back on what
Yeah.
she's seen, and then we can all kind of help her if we have any opinions on what she finds out.
Yeah, but if Trudy would prefer to be the rep, that is great too.
I
Trudy-
would.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't want, if you just.
No,
I would
you
just
do.
like
Go
to.
for it, Trudy.
Yes.
I encourage you.
Thank you. I'd like to do that.
Okay.
So one quick question, Noreen, and I go over there a lot, but I'm on the Bay Trail side of this parcel here. Can the person just walk across this parcel of land, or is it fenced off or something?
No, it's not fenced off currently.
Okay.
I think there's even like a couple of benches just plopped.
I go on it. Yeah, with my dogs. They like to run around there.
Okay.
I'm gonna go check it out.
I did.
Do some research. Yeah.
Okay, so the next item, so we're almost there with our agenda reports. So the chairperson, I do not have any report. So we have subcommittees, Luna Fest, Public Art, the Festival of Light, Open Space and Ecology, and then we'll set up subcommittee meetings. So we'll start with the Luna Fest update.
We had our meeting on 3/22. LunaFest is coming along. It's being held on June 11th. We're doing it at Mission Blue this time. It will not be outdoors. Ticket sales have opened. The website looks great, Noreen. I do not have an update on tickets sold though at this point. Do we have those numbers?
I haven't looked in the last few days, but we really haven't advertised extensively yet because we were just getting the system up and running. So.
Yeah, so Madison Davis put together a nice sell sheet for us. We've got a one-pager on the event so we can promote it and try and get sponsors and donations, and we're trying to move that forward. We did schedule our next meeting, but I don't think it's until May, if I recall. So we won't be reconvening until then. In the interim, it will just be promoting the event and trying to get those tickets sold. And as Madison put it, she's going to keep hitting up people for sponsorship. So the goal this year is $40,000, I think. Is that what we said, Noreen? Yep. So fingers are crossed, and I know we're going to do our darndest to try and hit that. So if each of you buys a VIP ticket, it gets us that much closer. So
it's a really fun event.
It is.
Oh, yeah, I should mention we're offering VIP tickets this year, which we did not offer last year because we didn't have like the right venue since we did it outside. So VIP tickets are $60. It gets you a drink ticket. It allows you to pick your own seats in the theater. You will get to walk on the red carpet, all that good stuff.
Is it a dance party too? Wasn't it a dance party? Or is that the gala?
We're still hoping to incorporate that after the screening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And tickets are available for sale at brisbaneca.org/lunafest.
Very good.
Thank you. The next.
That's all that I've got, Natalie.
Okay, perfect. Public Art Advisory Committee. That was held on to date, March 29th and April 5th.
Yeah, give me a minute to pull up those notes. Public arts. Okay, let me see. All right. Oh, wrong committee. See how
this shows me that you are the perfect person to be our president.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. Okay, let me just think about this off the top of my head. I know I have the notes here somewhere, but I don't have it. Yeah, we are still in the process of putting together a proposal. What we're trying to do right now is figure out who we're going to get as a advisor to help this committee get proposals for art. We need a, what do they call it, a consultant, an art consultant. And we've picked the first project, which is the space, all right, we call it behind the bathrooms, but that's a really bad name for this. It's the space of the park. The space of the park, it kind of includes the plug preserve, and then beyond that where the tables are. I just emphasized with this committee that I really wanted, as far as art goes, I think art is going to be lovely and it really might just bring the whole thing together, but I really still want it to be park space. I still want people to be able to get in it and use it as park space. So, we're going through that process. I think right now getting a consultant is just top on the list because the consultant is going to be the person who drives this project, but we have picked this out as our first project. So there we go. And I think we picked a budget, but I don't want to say it off the top of my head, but it's a good budget. So we'll have some good art. And unfortunately, we can't use money from the Park and Rec department, or no, from Public Works to update that space. So we're hoping to do a lot with this art money. So that's kind of what I remember from the meeting. I'm sorry, I don't have my notes right in front of me, but there you go.
Thank you. So the update from the Festival of Light subcommittee.
Didn't happen.
Well, that was a joint subcommittee with OSEC. That's the tree conversation.
Oh, the tree. Yes, yeah. I was on the tree.
Yeah.
I was on the tree committee. Yeah, basically they paid a consultant to come in and just confirm what we suggested, which was to plant. We picked this type of tree, which is a Doug fir. He gave us 2 types. We picked the Doug fir. And I think we're going to go with the grove of 3 trees and try and get them to grow together and then trim them nicely so that as they grow, one tree will probably be the standout tree. But in the meantime, they're going to start small. The arborist is going to plant them. It should be fine. And that was the decision was made, and we're moving forward.
Great. Thanks for that update. When does that happen? With the
soon, I think. I think it happens soon.
Well, yeah, it needs to go to city council first.
Oh, right. It goes to city council, and they also have to do a lot of prep to the soil and the sprinkler system.
There's some site prep that needs to happen, and they want to make sure that they plant at a prime time of the year. So it might be not until the fall when they actually plant. They need to source the trees as well.
Right. Yeah. We are probably going to go with smaller trees so they can get established, rather than trying to do big trees, which have a harder time being transplanted. So.
Great, thank you. So setting subcommittee meeting. So Noreen, let's see. We need to set something up for our Brisbane Derby Day in the Park. Haven't.
No, not yet.
Okay.
I think unless there's anything pressing from commissioners, I think I might suggest waiting until we have the results of the needs assessment survey to convene some of these subcommittees, because they're not overly time sensitive and there'll be more to discuss at those subcommittee meetings once we have some feedback from the community. I think the most time sensitive ones might be like concerts in the park.
Wait, did you get 3 commissioners for concerts in the park?
Yes, I have Natalie, Julie, and Trudy.
Okay, good. Okay.
But Frank, if you want to be on it, I can roll off of it.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I can volunteer too if you want.
I'll do that one next term.
Okay. Noreen, did we want to set a date for that for next week or?
What I might suggest, since Jeff is the staff representative and I would need to run his availability, but if you want to throw out a couple days, I can check with him.
Okay. So to all the commissioners, when setting up the subcommittee meetings, we usually like say a date the following week. Usually it's been like after 3 o'clock on Zoom. So.
And Natalie, I'm away next week. So that.
Okay, yeah. So the following week, does that work?
The following week would be fine.
How about which days? Trudy, and your schedule as well, like what days work?
For what?
For meeting with the concerts in the park.
Oh, any day.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't do the Thursday, but any other day the week of the 25th should be fine, any other afternoon.
I'm free after, on the 25th after 4 o'clock and then Wednesday after 5 o'clock.
Should we say Monday at 4? Does that work with you, Trudy?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
4 o'clock's my favorite.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, so Monday, the 25th at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
And I'll confirm with Jeff that works for him.
Okay.
And then to all the commissioners, they also send out an email, like a calendar invite with all the Zoom information. So if there's another, I guess, like a communication mode besides email, let the staff know. Like if phone number or something would be best for you to dial in. So.
Okay.
And then, as Frank mentioned, we already have the next LunaFest meeting on the calendar. So Tom, I will make sure that that calendar invite gets to you, and same for any upcoming public art advisory meetings. I'll let Stuart know. He's the staff liaison for that.
Frank, I just got my tickets. You inspired me.
Whoa, that was fast.
Well done.
I'm right behind you. That's
okay, Frank, we have 1 ticket sale.
Oh, I already bought mine. My friends have bought theirs. I've been on them. So.
I love it.
Right. Sounds good.
All right. Any other meetings we should set, Noreen?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
I do have a little request. Because I was asked this a couple of meetings ago that I needed to set a date for the garden show. Do you have a calendar for that? Because I was thinking about, hang on, let me look at my calendar. I was thinking about September 3rd, a Saturday.
Is that
Labor Day weekend?
Oh, is it? Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, forget that. Okay, how about August the 27th?
I will touch base with Sarah.
Okay.
She's the staff lead on that, and see if that date works. August 27th.
Yep.
Okay.
I want it late in the summer for the vegetables to get ripe.
Okay. I'll have her circle back with you, Lisa.
Okay, thanks. I just wanted to put it out there.
Yep, thank you.
Okay. The next item on our agenda, almost there. So any commissioner report? So I guess Noreen, can you remind us, like with the commissioners, since we have incoming commissioners, like if what the commissioner reports are about, what they're actually reporting about.
Yeah, if there was anything that came up between the last meeting and the present meeting that they felt would be noteworthy for future agenda topics, or specific conversations that they may have had with residents that warrant some follow-up from the commission, that could then be either kicked to a subcommittee level or agendized for the future.
Well, I did get an earful about the registration for the kids programs, and I don't know what to do with that. What do you think?
Specific to which programs?
Just the sign up for the summer camps and the signups for the swimming programs.
Camps are all open. We opened registration on Tuesday. Nothing, as far as I'm aware, nothing's full yet.
Right.
They have a 2-week registration priority period before non-residents.
I think what it was is that, and I kind of felt like this when I had kids, was that I just wasn't very clear about when all this was going to happen. You know what I mean? And I know we put it out on the blast, and I know I just don't know how you tell parents more clearly unless you get a parent email. Maybe you get a parent email list and it goes specifically to parents in the elementary schools, and they know. Because honestly, when I was in elementary school with my son, I had to learn it from parents that had done it before. I really had no clue how to do it. And it is kind of nerve-wracking. So I don't know, maybe there's I can just say, let's work on communicating with parents better about these deadlines. And I don't know how to do that, but let's work with staff and figure it out. Okay? Okay.
And Noreen, I wonder if, I know we had talked about liaisoning with the mothers of Brisbane, and I do wonder if we want to invite them to, or a couple of reps to attend a meeting to talk about this and maybe other things, or if it's best handled at the committee level, whatever you think. But I think that would be a good thing for us to do.
And we have a recreations programs subcommittee, so we can utilize that. And Noreen, can we invite mothers
absolutely.
as part of that? And then
That's a great idea. I like that idea.
Yeah. And then we could present it, provide an update.
Yes.
Next. Okay. So I guess with that, sorry, my agenda packet is like, with that, should we set up a committee meeting with that? I mean, I don't know if it's, I know like the summer program's been set, but it'll basically be a good idea to set up for the fall. Can you remind us who is in that committee? It's myself and
Julie, Natalie, and Renee are on rec programs.
Okay. So I know Julie, you are out. Did you want to set that up the same week? Renee, when are you available as well? Like what days?
Can you remind me what week you're talking about?
The week of April 25th. So,
okay, yep, I'm in town. Let me look here.
And again, I guess like the pro of this, we can actually meet through Zoom. So
yeah, I think all my looks like all my days end at work fairly early. So anytime, any of those days of the week of the 25th, as long as it's after 4 o'clock or later.
Yeah. And then Noreen, looks like we'll be meeting with you. What's the best day and time for that, April 25th?
Any day that week, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For me, yeah.
Yeah, after 4 o'clock.
I am out of the office all next week, so I would prefer not Monday.
Oh, April 25th. Wait, no.
Yeah.
Did I say April 25th? Yeah.
Not the 25th.
That's in 2 weeks, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can do.
You're just saying you don't want to come back from vacation and have this.
Got it.
Yes, please.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
but I can do the 26th or the 27th.
Julie, did you mention which one was a conflict? I can't remember.
Yeah, I can do the 26th or 27th, just not the 28th.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I am available as well after 4 o'clock.
Do we want to do 4 o'clock on Wednesday, the 27th?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jovi will help me to send out all of the calendar invites for these subcommittee meetings. Thank you in advance, Jovi.
This was the rec. This was the rec.
You're very welcome.
Rec programs, yes.
Thank you. We've reached my limit on how long I can pay attention and stay coherent.
We're almost done. It's the home stretch.
Almost there. Okay.
I've actually done better than I thought I would.
So staff reports, anything, Noreen, from your end?
I do have some updates and some information. We have a lot going on these days, so hopefully you can share the information so that you feel well informed at least. Spring break camp, we had camp last week and this week. We have about 50 campers this week, so they're busy having lots of fun. The wind and the rain kind of threw them off a little bit this week, but they're making the best of it. The activity guide is out. I don't know if you have had the opportunity to take a look at it. I'm going to quickly pull it up on my share screen so I can scroll you through. But what we were hoping to really achieve with this is just to have it be kind of a centralized repository of information of upcoming programs and events and services for late spring, summer. There's Frank and Julie making an appearance from our dog park reopening event. Just some information about facilities and how to rent them. These have live links in them, so people can click directly from a PDF online to our ActiveNet registration and online reservation system. Information regarding camps and summer teen programming, summer preschool. We put information in here about our fall Club Rec after school registration, because that is one program that is heavily impacted and does fill up. And so we like for parents to know well in advance of the start of the school year whether or not their child has a spot. So we are conducting that registration in June, on June 7th at 9 a.m. There will be 100 spaces, and then we will start the wait list beyond that. Information regarding some contracted programs and fall sports information for people. I think this might be Lisa here playing pickleball.
Maybe.
Lisa made an appearance in here too.
Oh, I'm glad pickleball is an activity. That's so awesome.
Pickleball is happening this summer.
I'm there.
Yeah, so in July, in conjunction with National Parks and Recreation Month, we will have free pickleball at Littman Tennis Courts for people to enjoy. We have adult softball league happening later this summer. Information about our pool water aerobics classes, both of our schedules for the pool, both for late spring and summer, so people are informed of when we're open and the activities that are happening. Our summer swim lessons, registration for that opens on May 10th at 9 a.m. for residents and May 17th at 9 a.m. for non-residents. Information about our sunrise room activities and senior club. We're going to be bringing back our cornhole tournament this summer. You can register as an individual or as a team, so that'll be happening June 24th. Registration is open. Upcoming fire hydrant restoration event. We're taking applications now, and we have habitat restoration coming up later this month. Shout out for LunaFest and some other upcoming events as well. And BDW's annual performance. And there you go. There's the Lions Club Easter egg hunt this weekend. So that's on there too. So this is housed online on the city website on our Parks and Recreation page, but also available through our social media accounts. So it was nice to get that back out this year. And then just a quick plug, we are accepting nominations for our annual Volunteer of the Year Award. So if you have neighbors or friends that are residents that you wish to nominate, please send those nominations my way. Typically, we close that out by August or so, when we meet with the council liaisons to select the volunteer of the year, who is then announced at the annual Day in the Park event.
Two quick things. Noreen, one, I love the design of the activity guide. It just looks fab. It's so inviting.
Thanks.
And I'm not just saying that because Frank and I are in it. It actually is like amazing. The other thing is, I had a piece of feedback from someone in the community saying that we used to do like a swimming party, a pool party for our Brisbane volunteers. And they were wondering if we could bring that back.
A pool party?
This was a long-term Brisbaner, so it could be like, I don't know when this happened, but it sounded like fun to me.
I
So
suppose
just wanted to
there
throw it
was
out
an
there.
appetite for it. Yeah. Maybe that's something the events subcommittee could broach.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put it on the list.
Excellent. I mentioned habitat restoration. I just wanted to call attention to, we have a busy weekend in May 13th through the 15th. We have a lifeguard certification class that'll be taking place that weekend. We have registration open for that now. We also have the fire hydrant restoration event and BDW's annual spring performance. So it will be a very busy weekend in town. And then also announcing before our May meeting, because the month will have already begun by then, that May is Water Safety Month. So we're going to be doing some things on our social media in regards to that. And then May is also National Bike to Work Month. So usually we do a bike to work event, but that has kind of evolved over the last couple of years with the pandemic to a bike to work month. So we'll have some level of celebration around that. The last year we distributed some kind of goodie bags for residents out at the farmers market in conjunction with commute.org. So keep your eyes peeled for more information about that. And I wanted to also mention I had a recent meeting with the San Mateo County Park and Rec Directors Group, and we are going to be organizing another commissioner workshop this year. We haven't done one for several years, but I think, Natalie, I think you attended the last one that we did. And it's just an opportunity for commissioners throughout San Mateo County to get together with one another, kind of talk about what's going on in your agencies and strategize a little bit. We usually have a keynote speaker. We usually kind of address general policies and procedures that pertain to all commissions throughout the county. So this is a quick plug to save the date. It is October 15th. It's a Saturday. It will primarily be a morning event, but will include lunch. So once we kind of iron out the remaining details and logistics about that, we'll pull together a program that I'll share with all of you. And then you can let me know whether or not it's something you want to register for and participate in. And the city will cover the cost of your attendance at that event. So, I don't know, Natalie, if you want to share with the commission what your experience was and whether or not it was worthwhile for you.
Oh, definitely. It was nice to see everyone, like all other commissioners, share their experiences, all their successful programs, what worked, what didn't work. We talked about like high level of like the dog park and, you know, how the process is. It's an eye opener, actually. You learn a lot, and you get free swag, you know, from different counties or from different cities. You just learn a lot, especially like with bigger cities and smaller. I guess like Brisbane would be the smallest, but you get to, it's very eye-opening. So I enjoyed it. And it brings a lot of value of, you know, and perspective of, you know, what we can actually add and, you know, add to our commission and our activities and our program. So I would actually recommend it, and I would add it to the calendar.
And I will go ahead and add it to the commission calendar so it remains on our radar, and happy to send more information once I have it. But it is a unique opportunity that only comes up every several years. It's not something that we facilitate on an annual basis. So if it's something you're interested in, I would encourage you to take the opportunity. And the last thing I had was, as your last meeting as chair, I just wanted to say thank you to Natalie from staff. We've really enjoyed working with you over the past year plus. I think it might have even been like a year and a half. But you've done a great job, and we really appreciate the time and energy that you've dedicated to the commission. So thank you so much, Natalie.
Thank you, Natalie.
Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure.
And that's all I have.
Perfect. Okay, commission matters, written communications. So have we received any communications?
No written communications tonight.
And then last item on our agenda, the commission calendar. So that's attached. So it looks like basically we have our upcoming meeting on May 11th. We have a program presentation for our Club Rec Summer Preview, Club Littman Preschool. We'll be reviewing the budget review and recommendations. We'll review the needs assessment survey result and identify the priorities from that. And then we'll discuss ideas for National Parks and Recreation Month. I guess also a plug for the National Parks and Recreation Month. I believe the library also has like a parking pass, right? A free parking pass for those that are interested in going to national parks and getting their parking fees waived. So, all right. Let's see. So I guess I'll after this adjournment. So I pass over the baton, right, Noreen?
The virtual gavel.
Gavel, yeah. So the
He
next
says ready to receive it.
Yeah. Here we go.
Nailed it.
Yeah. So the meeting is now adjourned at 8:25 p.m. and then the next Brisbane Park and Rec meeting will be held on May 11th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. And we will pass on again. The new chair is Lisa Greenlee, and we wanted to thank everyone for bringing all your ideas and thoughts and to this meeting tonight. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. Bye.
Enjoy your vacation, Tom.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.